Emma never believed in fate. Living in Chicago, she believed life was a series of choices, deadlines, and coffee-fueled mornings. At 32, she worked as a graphic designer, living alone in a small apartment that echoed with silence every night. Her last relationship had ended 2 years ago, leaving behind trust issues and unanswered questions. Since then, she had built walls so strong that even hope felt like a threat. Love, she told herself, was a chapter she had already closed. On the other side of the city lived Daniel, a high school history teacher, 35, divorced and emotionally exhausted. His marriage had ended quietly, not with betrayal but with distance. Two people who stopped talking and slowly became strangers under the same roof. Daniel still believed in love, but he no longer trusted it. He spent his evenings grading papers, listening to old music, and wondering where things had gone wrong. Their paths crossed on a rainy Monday morning at a small neighborhood cafe. Emma was late for work, juggling her phone, bag, and coffee order. Daniel stepped back to let her pass, but she slipped, spilling coffee all over his jacket. Embarrassed and flustered, Emma apologized repeatedly, offering to pay for dry cleaning. Daniel laughed it off, saying it was just coffee and bad luck. They shared a brief smile, exchanged names, and went their separate ways. Just another forgettable moment, or so they thought. A week later they met again. Same cafe. Same time. This time Daniel recognized her instantly. They joked about the coffee incident, and something felt strangely familiar, like a conversation that had already begun somewhere else. They talked for 5 minutes, then 10. Emma realized she was smiling without forcing it. Daniel noticed the way she listened, really listened. When they finally left, neither of them mentioned meeting again, but both secretly hoped they would. Soon, the cafe became their unspoken meeting place. They didn't call them dates, just conversations. About work, life, dreams, and fears they rarely shared with anyone else. Emma opened up about her failed relationship and how it made her afraid to trust again. Daniel talked about his divorce and the guilt of feeling like he had failed. They didn't try to fix each other. They simply understood. But life doesn't let happiness come without testing it. Emma received a job offer from a design firm in San Francisco, her dream job. It meant starting over, proving herself, and finally feeling valued. The excitement was real, but so was the fear. She hadn't told Daniel yet. Part of her didn't want to ruin what they had before it even became something real. Daniel sensed the distance before she spoke. The shorter replies. The distracted eyes. When she finally told him, he congratulated her with a smile that hid his disappointment. He didn't ask her to stay. He didn't tell her how he felt. Old habits held him back. The fear of losing someone again. Their last meeting before Emma's move was quiet. No dramatic goodbye. Just a long hug that said everything words couldn't. Emma left believing that some people come into your life only to remind you what you're capable of feeling, not to stay forever. San Francisco was everything Emma dreamed of, and nothing she hoped for. The job was demanding. The city was beautiful but lonely. Nights felt colder without Daniel's messages. Meanwhile, Daniel returned to his routine, but everything felt dull. Teaching felt mechanical. Music didn't hit the same. He realized too late that Emma wasn't just a friend. She was the missing piece he didn't know he was searching for. Months passed. One evening, Daniel found an old receipt from the cafe tucked inside his jacket. On the back, Emma had once doodled a small heart without realizing it. That was his breaking point. He understood that love wasn't about perfect timing. It was about courage. Daniel booked a flight to San Francisco. Emma was working late when her phone buzzed with a message. "Can we talk?" Her heart raced. When she stepped outside the office building and saw Daniel standing there, jet-lagged and nervous, everything stopped. He told her he was tired of letting fear make decisions for him. He told her she mattered. That love scared him, but losing her scared him more. Emma cried. Not from sadness but relief. She admitted she had been waiting for him to say those words, afraid to hope. They didn't promise perfection. They promised effort, honesty, and choosing each other every day. Years later, they still visit that cafe whenever they're back in Chicago. They laugh about spilled coffee and rainy mornings. From strangers to soulmates, their story is proof that love doesn't arrive loudly. Sometimes it walks in quietly, asks for patience, and waits for you to be brave enough to choose it.